Good evening, folks. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. This is a first. This is not Radio Fremantle. This is Radio AH. This is Radio Abundant Hope. This is something a little different and very special. I'm sitting here talking today to, I'd like to say a very good friend of mine, and I'm so delighted and excited that he's agreed to do this crazy thing. And his name is Kibo Dabi. A lot of you folks out there listening on this particular AH radio channel will be familiar with his work. He's quite a prolific writer. He's a bit of a spiritual junkie, and he's agreed to sit down with me today. Kibo, are you hearing me on the other end?
Yeah.
You are. Fantastic. You're hearing me loud and clear. How are you today, man?
I'm here.
Well, that's a start, right?
Weekend.
That's an important beginning, and a lot of people don't get that far, so we're already up on a lot of people. Now, I wanted to start today, if I can. I'm just going to intro it like this, basically with something that I found on your website, kibodabi.wordpress.com.
The blog.
Yeah, that's the blog. That's the one where you do a lot of your fine work, and I wanted to just mention this one today. It's called I Saw This Today. It's posted on 29 August. It's one of the most recent. I think it is the most recent something that you put on there. I'm just going to read it. It's brief, but I want to read it. It goes like this. I take the train every day from one end of Chicago to the other. This morning, down on the sidewalk, upside down from my point of view, and written in several colors was this. Here is the world. Beautiful and terrible things will happen. Don't be afraid. Please help spread the word. Thanks, Kibo. Okay. Beautiful. Tell me about this. You're on the train. You saw this thing. What's so special about this, Kibo? What was it about poignant about this thing that you wanted to mention it on your blog?
Well, one, I'm glad I learned how to read upside down. Somebody, it wasn't there the day before that I can tell, but somebody took the time to write in beautiful colors something that they thought would be helpful. What gets to me later is, I think Steve brought it up, that it was from another work, and it was only a part of that work, and actually it was more about God and what he was trying to say than the person who wrote it on the sidewalk was willing to put down. Now, he basically what he did was he took a part of it that he resonated with, that he felt everybody should be able to resonate with, whether they believe in God or not. He didn't want to take that chance, or he didn't believe it, or he just wanted that. But he put that down there. But the whole message of, this is the truth. Shit will happen to you. Good shit and bad shit will happen to you. Do not be afraid. And this is what we've been trying to get, people to understand. There's nothing to fear. Fear is an illusion. There is nothing to fear. Do not fear.
Right.
So for them to take the time to write that out in such a way where it actually got the exposure, not just from people walking by on the sidewalk, but from idiots like me who see it from the train. And I just felt that if they were willing to go through all that trouble, the least I could do was help.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's true, man. I mean, beautiful and terrible things happen, and depending if you're a glass half full or a glass half empty type, you might say there's more terrible than beautiful things right now, and there's a lot of fear around that. There's a lot going on that we don't understand. There's a lot going on that we haven't quite learned how to, make sense of, and it's scaring a lot of people. So I think the fear thing is definitely still riding high on the waves and affecting everybody's lives. But I mean, how do we get rid of this fear thing? How do we do it? I mean, I know we gotta. I think a lot of the fear thing is the unknown, right? It's basically the unknown. That's where it all stems from.
I don't. You could say it's unknown. I know people who are afraid of the known. They know They know what they're afraid of. They're afraid of losing their houses. They're afraid of being homeless. They're afraid of getting shot in the street. They're afraid of car crashes. They're afraid of their loved ones leaving them. They're afraid of this. They're afraid of that. Hell, if you have time to be afraid of the unknown. You're afraid of the next president. You're afraid of the one you got now. You're afraid. You're afraid because they give you all this stuff and tell you and give you reasons to be afraid, and that keeps you unbalanced and that keeps you easy to control. Why does that keep you easy to be controlled? Because, in my eyes anyway, all of that stuff is the perception of material things. You are afraid of a material experience that will cause you pain on whatever level that it causes you pain. It will either cause you physical pain, mental pain, or emotional pain.
Pain sucks, man.
Well, that depends on how you look at yourself. If you look at yourself as a physical creature, then you will be afraid of physical things. If you look at yourself as a spiritual creature, physical things become nothing but an experience. And with training and understanding and walking in God and God walking in you, you come to understand that this is all just experience. It's just one life. You can do this. There is actually nothing to be afraid of because you were created as a forever thing. And all of this pain and fear and everything is simply a material illusion for the sake of experience and demonstration. And it is up to you to recognize your true self as a spiritual being and understand that this is nothing. What have you to be afraid of? You are a forever creature. You are one in the consciousness of a creator who is actually you. You cannot die. That pain is a perception of pain.
Yeah,
you can train. You can train yourself to go beyond the pain physically. I mean, there are guys out there, you got those black ops guys who can just hold their hand over the flame and it's nothing. Why? They've trained themselves in perception. They have no fear of this. They've trained themselves not to fear that. Hell, some of them even like it. But that's besides the point. The thing is, it's just a material thing. In consciousness and perception, you can get over that. You can go through anything. You'd be surprised what you can go through. And once you get there, you go, well, shit, that was nothing. Yeah. I lived to tell the tale. And all that fear that you had in that, you're like, well, why was I so damn afraid? I don't know. But I was afraid of it before I went to it. And then when I went to it, I realized this is nothing. It's, really, what am I about that I was afraid of that? Who am I counting? What is it? You are taught to be afraid. And you were taught to be afraid for specific reasons. And in order to keep you afraid, they keep throwing shit at you to make you afraid. And as long as you believe in that fear, you will be subject to it. I understand how hard it is to get over that fear. I've been 55 years and I just gotten to the point where, you know what, screw it. For 2 months, they had an angel behind my back, like that guy who would tell the Roman general, you were just a man. You were just a man. Because he'd come home and everybody would be cheering him like, he was all that. And he had somebody behind him whispering in his ear to remind him that he wasn't. So they sent me somebody who would just whisper in my ear all the time, there is nothing to fear. Fear is an illusion. Fear is nothing. There is nothing to fear. Fear is an illusion. It has no meaning. Tell that to yourself for 2 or 3 months, every moment of your life. And see if you give a shit about fear anymore. What are you afraid of? Pain? Big deal. Well, how long does pain last? Death? Ooh, wow. When you wake up from that, you'll realize it was nothing. Losing this, losing that, loss is part of life. You learn from it. Okay, you don't like it, but okay. I'm still here. The things you fear are the things you give yourself because you acted from a position of fear. You let that fear color your actions because you were afraid. If you stop being afraid and realize, it's just shit. We go through shit all the time. I was afraid of shit when I was a kid, like on that high diving board. But I jumped. After that, I was up there 5 times a day when I went to the pool. But I was afraid of the high diving board until I got up on the high diving board and jumped off the high diving board. I wasn't trying to do anything fancy, 33.5 split, reverse turnover. No, I was happy in the right direction. But I went off the board. Nothing. What was I afraid of? It seemed so high. Why? Because it was a perception thing. Shit's going to happen. Don't be afraid. Because at the end of the day, when it's all over, it's just lessons learned, man. You're here on the planet where, oh yeah, there are people who were afraid to come to this freaking planet. Look at where you are. You had the courage to come here. You're going to be afraid of this shit? You're going to let them beat you like that? Hell no. Learn. Learn to look them in the face and go, I ain't afraid of you, you piece of... But you're just doing your job. I understand. Now leave me alone.
Yeah.
What do you got to be afraid of? Shit's going to happen whether you're afraid of it or not. So why be afraid? If it happens, it happens. It happens. It happens for a reason. It has a purpose. Get through it.
Yeah. Well, man, it makes sense, but I gotta tell you, it's still most of the driving factors on this planet is fear. And you told me the other day, we had this conversation a couple of days ago. You were talking to me. You're a positive guy, and
What?
You seem to be, to me, a positive guy. I'm serious, man. You came across real positive. I said to you that it was hard to pull ourselves out. We need a lot of help. You remember that? I said that we need a lot of help.
But I've learned to be a positive guy because I have experienced that help.
Okay.
I am still in this house where you're speaking to me now because of that help. A year ago, when I woke up every morning going, ah! I mean, that's how I woke up in the morning. You talk about fear. I was one fearful motherfucker. Yeah. I'm gonna lose this. I'm gonna be that. And when it was all over, I said, shit, how the hell did that happen? Somebody said this, they sent me that, this happened, that happened, and God bless them for it. But the fact that the whole thing was there in the first place, how long ago? And Harold, hi Harold, God bless you, I love you. For somebody, how many years ago did that happen? And what? How? It can only come from one direction. If I am walking in alignment and attunement in God, and God is walking in me, and I can learn to rest in that and walk without fear, what have I to fear? What the hell can man do to me? I had to learn that. And it was a hard-ass lesson to learn. Yeah, I should be freaking out now. I'm not. My 5-year mortgage is up on the 28th of this month. I don't have the money. I can get kicked out of my house by October. I have no idea what's going to happen. I have no idea what's going to be done. I have no idea if I'm going to be here or not. All I know is that for some strange reason, I have no fear of the situation because I'm looking at something bigger. And I'm trusting in that. And I know whatever is supposed to be here or somewhere else, whatever happens, as long as it's God's will, I don't care. As long as I am doing God's will, as long as I am where God wants me to be, and I know that, I'm good.
So
I got no worry.
God's will can be, your ass out on the street. Can that be God's will as well?
Yes.
And you're going to be fine with that?
Yeah, I have to be.
I mean, that's rough, man. What type of God does that, man?
Well, let's see.
See, that's the problem. That's the problem. You're saying that the terrible shit happens and that we should be okay with that and we should be willing to deal the cards we're dealt and still realize that it doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. But the problem we got is people are getting their ass kicked out of their homes. People are getting their children taken away. There are bombs going off. There are drones in the sky. There is some crazy shit out there. And people are asking the question, what the hell is God doing?
God is waiting for us to do his will.
Okay, let me get this right. So the stuff that's going down, that there's a lot of pain out there, and you've been telling us now that the pain's nothing to fear. You got nothing to fear of the pain. Fine, you got nothing to fear of the pain, and this stuff that's happening. Well, if the pain's not important, if the pain doesn't mean anything.
I didn't say it wasn't important. I didn't say it didn't mean anything. I said don't fear it.
Don't fear it. Okay, all right. So it's important. It has purpose, but not necessarily just to cause us grief and anguish. Can we accept that statement?
You can be in grief, you can be in anguish. Don't fear it.
Okay, all right. But the thing is, we got this stuff going down, and people are screaming now, screaming more than ever, where the hell is God?
Apparently not enough people are screaming, are they?
Well,
because they are still picking up their guns to go to fight. They are still at the Republican convention. They are still at the Democratic convention. They are still waging jihad. They are still pointing guns at each other, and they are still doing the stuff that they are complaining about. They are still hating their neighbors. Okay? They are still listening to the lies. They are wondering why they are in the bed of their own making, and they are complaining about it because they have done as they have want to do. They have put their wills ahead of God's will. They have put their hatred of each other in front of God and loving each other. They have not loved the Lord thy God with all thy heart and soul, and they have not loved thy neighbors as thyself. They do not love each other as each other. They do not recognize themselves in God. They are living the lie. And because they are living the lie, they are feeling the effects of the lie. And that is on them. And they can complain all they want, but it's their own fault. When they put down the gun, when they tell the cabal, fuck you and your money, when they stand up as one and they look to God and they see God within them, and as one people, they join hands and they say, you know what, God, your will be done. Whatever it may be, let us fulfill it in ourselves. We are complaining because we are experiencing the effects of our own wills. That is what free will is all about. We have chosen our will. We are looking at everything from our perspective. We are not looking at it from God's perspective. And I know that is a hard thing to do for an ascending creature, but it can be done. They are not listening. They have not heard. They are not realizing. They are letting their differences come between them, which I understand. It's a human thing to do. But all of this, well, this shit, yes, I know all this shit is going on, but what are we doing about it? We are telling people, oh, visualize the new world. Hell, visualize making the new world. Visualize no war. Visualize making no war. Visualize people putting down their guns. Visualize kids not joining the military because they don't have anywhere to go. Make it possible for them to have somewhere else to go. Make it possible for these kids out here on the street to have something to do other than run around and sell crack and shoot each other. You don't like the educational system? Get your kids out of it and teach them something real. You want God to take care of you like you're a baby, or do you want to stand up like a spiritual adult on your own 2 feet and say, damn it, Dad, I'm with you? I'm sick of this shit. And I know you are too. But we still do it. We let ourselves be lied to. We like the lie. Tell me those lies. Make me a happy man. I got light workers everywhere now signing up on signing forms for Cobra because Cobra said that they were going to give them money because they know they were poor, put upon light workers. And now he's going to go around and give speeches so they can find out what these people who signed up look like. The Galactic Federation is going to show its ship. If it looks like Obama's going to have a hard time being reelected, but if it looks like he's going to win and everything's going to be fine, we'll show up after the election. This is what they just put out. I don't understand it. But this is what people do. They want to be told this. They want to believe that. They're not in themselves. This is what they want to hear. They want somebody to come and save them. I understand. Hell, I want somebody to come and save me too, but I have to earn it. You have to walk the walk and talk the talk.
What are we What do we got to do to earn it, man? What do we got to do to earn it? I'm sure everybody wants to earn it right now. I mean, they don't know what exactly they want to earn, but they know that they got to earn something because what they're getting right now is not a whole lot.
Do what you were told to do.
Man, but we don't have anyone telling us to do anything. All we have is our work.
The word's been there for 2,000 years. That word hasn't changed. They could not keep it out of the books. The word was there. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and soul, thy mind and strength. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. If you can do that, the Master told you the kingdom of God is within you. Go walk through the kingdom. It is within you. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to the channels. All the people saying anything. You know what? It's in you. Sit down, turn everything else off, and give yourself completely to the one who made you. Because he is in you. He is you. You think you are somebody. You are God being you. It is time you recognize that and acted accordingly. If we could do that, we wouldn't have any of this shit. But we wanted to be ruled by men, and God let us. Now, what do we have? And that which I do, ye may also do, and more. The hills will skip like little lambs for you. Why? Know ye not ye are gods? Why can you not act like gods? That is what you are. Ye are gods, learning to be gods.
I don't feel like a god, man.
Who does? It doesn't matter. When you get to the point where you are making your own creation and administrating and maintaining your creation, your universe, making it perfect, you will have a definite feeling for the charges that you created. You will know them. You will know what you were sending them through because you have been there. And they will have to go through the same shit. There is no other way. Everything cannot be rainbows and unicorns and lollipops. It would be nice, but you will be weak. You have to have something to strive for. There must be a challenge. There must be something to prove your resolve in the face of all aridity. To find peace in war, love. In the face of all chaos and hatred, light in the darkness. And that's in you. You shine with that light. You want people to change? You can't change people. Change yourself. Be that light. Be that light out on the street. Be that light in action. Do the things that light does. Do the things that God does in you. And other people will see you and go, damn. And they're going to want to be like you. And it will grow. We treat each other with respect. We are excellent to each other. We pick up trash off the street. We feed the homeless. We offer hugs to little children when they are crying. We return things that others have lost. We do not steal. We do not cheat. We do not take advantage of each other. We live the life of God. And you let that grow because more people are doing it, because you're doing it, and the people who see you want to be like you. Because you want to be like God. And God gives it to you to do so. Because if you could just open yourself up to God and realize that you actually are God, you are a character of God. Be an actor now. Act like God. Let God walk in you and know you walk in God. You are the same being. He's just you. He's being you. He is you are his idea of you. And he has let you go your own way because he knows eventually you'll figure it out one way or the other. You can do it this age or the next age, maybe even the age after. Time is nothing. One life is nothing. When we go through all this shit and we scream and shout, and yes, we are hurt and we don't like it. There's a lot of crap I don't like, but you know what? I know where it goes. It's just one life. I can do this. And I had some 2 blocks away from me, people got shot down. We heard the shots getting closer. And I know. What can I do? All I can do is the best I can do and try to be more light in the darkness. That's all I can do. I can't change their mind. Well, am I going to tell some gangbanger he can't do what he's doing because he's making more money in a week than I can in a month? What am I supposed to tell him? He's got his life that he believes in. Well, I'm going to tell him about God. What has God done for him lately? He doesn't know. He doesn't care. God don't pay him money. It's you know, God don't get me women. God don't get me bling. God don't get me a new car. God don't pay the bill. Well, actually, yes, he does, but not if you're going to be like this.
Doesn't seem like God's really into the stuff that we're into.
Actually, yes, he is, but it's a matter of energetics. You have to understand who and what you are. You have to understand that actually, yes, you are God in action. And if you were willing to have that relationship with God, being one with God, and to listen, I mean, really develop hearing, which is one of the hardest things to do because there's so much in the way. And I have to worry constantly about what I'm filtering. You want to get to the core of it without hindrance. You want to do it without anything in the way. And if you can get to that point, and then it's not easy, but the thing is you're trying, and that's really what matters. You're trying. People die trying. And because they die trying, they're much better off in between and in the next life. I mean, really, it means a lot.
It means a lot to try.
Yeah, trying is everything, man.
So failure, there's no failure. It's just trying or not trying. There's no success and failure. So trying is success, is it?
You get nothing without trying. The Book of Arantia tells you that. You talk about success or failure, you know, like and depending on what you think success or failure is this material success or failure, or is this spiritual success or failure? And if it's spiritual, well, personally, this is just me now. I think there's nothing but success as long as you're trying. However slow you may be on the path, I mean, I myself am crawling on all fours sometimes. And as long as I'm making progress, I don't care. I mean, sometimes I feel like I'm going in leaps and bounds, and sometimes I feel like I'm just flat out on the ground, and the only thing I got going are my fingers.
I feel like that too, man. I feel like that too. The crawling, you know, that's a really good way to put it. Sometimes it's crawling, and I think I'm supposed to be some kind of, you know, more advanced individual than most, maybe. And, you know, I'm crawling, man. It's fingertips. It's nail biting.
Yeah, but I'm trying. I'm moving. I got turtles passing me by, but I'm moving. Okay, and that's all that matters to me. This is me. I can't do nothing for nobody else. I got to get there. I can't get anybody else there. I can mark a rock along the way, and if somebody notices, that helps. But the fact that they're there to notice the rock means they're trying. I ain't telling nobody nothing new. And I ain't saving nobody. All I'm doing is giving my experiences, sharing, and praying to God that somewhere along the line, something I did helped. If I helped anybody, I'm grateful. But if I helped anybody, it's because I helped myself first. I gotta be there in order to tell you where it is. Because I learned from the people who told me where it was. And that's how I got there. I got teachers. I got people along the way that I've known and loved, and they have helped me immensely to learn and to be where I am now. I wouldn't be here without them. Because we all shared. We did that. We were there for each other, one way or another. Whether we knew it or not or meant to or not, we were there for each other. Just like the guy who wrote that thing on the sidewalk. We were there for each other. The people that you meet on the street, you were there for each other. You talk to them, you help them, they help you. You learn from everybody and everything. You learn from the wind, man. You got to take everything as a spiritual experience, because that's what it is. It's a spiritual experience in consciousness of awareness for the sake of demonstration and experience. You are perfection becoming perfect. You are perfect becoming perfection. You are
Wait.
God.
Sorry. Perfection coming perfect. That doesn't.
Yep.
I don't get that one. How can you be
You,
perfect and then be working towards perfection? Well, if you're perfect,
you,
why are you working
because you have to understand what it means.
to be perfect?
Yes.
And we can find that here.
You can find that anywhere. You can find that everywhere. You think this is your first life? You think this is your last life? This is all about you becoming perfect.
Man, this
God.
place doesn't look perfect to me, man.
So,
I don't. I have to. You have to look harder to see the perfection in this place.
how do you fight a forest fire?
Well, not with fire.
Yeah, you ever heard of what do they call it? 'Cause I fought a fire once when I was in college. We were watching Sound of Music, and they came to, hey, you want to fight a forest fire? We're like, okay, sure. So, no, it was just like that, So we're out there with the shovels, and basically what they did was, because the fire was ahead of us, and they had burned something before the fire. And we were helping to put that secondary fire out. I forget what they call it, but what that does is it holds back the fire, the main fire, because what it does, it takes away what it has to burn. You can fight fire with fire, perfection is hard to see from the inside. That's why you have to be able to look at it from the outside in. You have to look at the whole journey instead of just the step you're on. You have to be able to have the imagination to realize that this is just a small point in the total picture, and that this, what you consider to be imperfection, is actually helping to make everything perfect. Because this will be over one day. And when this is over, the new thing begins, and everybody goes, ooh, but it wouldn't be as great as it was if we hadn't gone through this shit. And it is that much more glorious because we did. And those of us that are staying here to help out are that much more glorious and courageous and stronger because we went through this shit. And we can teach others. And they can learn from us. And so perfection is added on to become the perfection that it is in actuality. Right now, we're all potential. But we're creating an actual thing. And we're all in this together. We are helping Christ Michael Aton in the growing of his creation into the perfection that it is meant to be. And in order to do that, there has to be an alternative. Everything can't be rainbows and unicorns. You got to go through shit to understand what shit is. And the only time you can stop shit is when you've been through shit. And after this shit, we'll never let this shit happen again.
That was beautiful, man. Gotta write that down.
But I mean, come on. We people tell me, well, you should give yourself more credit. In some ways, yes. In some ways, no. I recognize who and what I am, and I allow myself small moments of appreciation. Just, you'll forgive me for this, but sometimes I do it just to entertain myself. Before we started today, I had gotten dressed. I got my little thing. I got my interview clothes on. I said, I'm going to wear this because this is nice. It's natural and everything. And I got up in front of my wife and I said, I am beautiful. Gaze upon me and sigh. And she just looked at me and like, yeah, right. I said, hey, once a life, I am allowed. It's okay to love yourself. Yeah, okay. None of us are perfect. We got a long way to go, but damn it, appreciate how far you come. Okay, give yourself a little credit. Pat yourself on the back once in a while. Say to God, "Thanks for getting me here." And God will say, "Well, hell, you didn't have to work. Well, just thanks anyway." And He'll say, "Thank you."
Yeah.
But that's a relationship. Okay? I keep telling you people, God is your father, God is your friend. God, God is the guy who kicks it on the couch with you and talks to you while you watch TV. And if you really develop that relationship and you have that conversation all the time, you would be amazed. Because it's right there. Forgive me, because like this is where I am. This is what I do. This is what I have all the time. I have these constant conversations now. This is where I am. And you're watching TV and you're having this conversation, and they have to do it on your level. As you raise yourself up, the conversation gets better. But basically, they can't go beyond what you can deal with. So you're sitting up on watching the TV and something comes on and you hear that celestial voice going, "You really believe that shit?" No. Why do you watch that? What the fuck? It's something. Yeah, but I know this is shit, but it's entertaining shit. As long as I know shit, right? Yeah, but there isn't anything better. I don't know. Let's check the guide. Yeah, that's me and God.
That seems so casual, man.
It is casual. That's what I'm trying to get people to see.
Yeah, but you're a celestial royalty. The rest of us, we're shit kickers down here.
But that is my understanding from an ascending point of view. You don't want to hear my understanding from a descending point of view.
I don't know if we have the time. Yeah.
Okay. All of this is coming from what I consider to be the human part of me. I'm still trying to deal with that, descending sun stuff. I'm like, okay, I can deal with it, I can accept it, but I can't move a cornflake across the table. I don't, the only thing that it affords me that I can see that other people don't do is I'm willing to look at things more from the standpoint of source and center. That's it. And that might be the only advantage I have. And I don't think it's much of an advantage because I know other people do this too. Now, I don't think it's anything new. It's just something I do all the time. I think it's a mistake to just look at things from a human viewpoint. I think you have to look at things from the position of your God center. Because that's what you are. That's what you're here for. You're here to do God's will. Which means you have to see things from his point of view. And see how that relates. Yeah, to see how that relates to your point of view. And how that works. And then you start seeing the nuances in like, why did I see that writing on the sidewalk? Why did it show up then? Why am I having this conversation with this person? How did it turn out that way? It's like I told you the other day, I had a woman come and talk to me, and we had this whole energetic conversation simply because I threw trash in the trash can. And that made her look at me differently. She was no longer afraid of me. She saw something in common, so we had this wonderful conversation. But that was because of the conversations I have all the time. And the boss said, "Hey, why don't you do something for Mother Earth? Really? You want me to pick that up and put it in the trash?" Yeah, okay. Boom, there it is.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, this woman comes and sits next to me, and it's a wonderful conversation, and we share, teach, learn. Great. We have both profited. What am I supposed to say?
Well, I think if we're all going to be talking to God like that on that level, it's going to be a different picture for everybody. But he does that. He's willing to do that. He wants that. That's what he wants.
He is that. You forget. You are God. You are part of God. God is thinking of himself. That thought is what we call creation.
No, I get that, man. I get that. I really do. No, by all means.
Wouldn't you want to talk to your creation?
I don't know. We're not exactly the greatest. Well, I can't say that. That's I don't.
How can you say that?
I didn't say it, man. I didn't say it.
No, see, that's because you view yourself differently than what you really are. You are God being you, and if you appreciate that, nothing else matters.
God is me.
Okay,
God is me.
God looks at you with the same love and appreciation that he created you with. You will always be that for him. He will always love you. He will always embrace you. He will always look at you and with that attitude of like, damn, I made something good. Look at this. Do you see what I made? And the angels go, yeah, boss. Ain't it great? Yeah, boss. Ain't it beautiful? Yeah, boss. Do you think it will ever talk to me? Don't know, boss. But God, I love what I made. Yeah, boss. Oh, me, oh my, I love what I made. That's right, boss. We love it too. I know. Why can't you love yourself like God loves you? Why can't you appreciate yourself like God appreciates you? Why can't you see yourself through his eyes? Instead of putting yourself down and saying, oh, I'm this, I'm fucked up. Yeah, okay, you fucked up, but God knows why you fucked up. That's all part of the process. It's okay. You don't want to be fucked up anymore? Talk to the one who made you. He'll get you out of it. When you're ready, boom, there it is. But you gotta want not to be fucked up anymore. Badly. Okay, I mean, you really have to realize how fucked up you are to say, I don't want to be fucked up anymore. I said, God, I am too stupid to pick my own women, please. And that's how I got my wife now. Blessing. You know, nobody's going to put up with me and love me like she does. Nobody's going to understand. She is proof to me that God loves me. Why? Because I completely gave it over to God. I told God I am too stupid to live my life. Please help me out. And here I am. I know. And he has helped me appreciate myself from his standpoint. Because from my point of view, I'm just fucked up and don't know shit. How do I get over that? By, taking the word of the one who created me. Well, actually, you are pretty cool and beautiful, and I do love you. And, I know you think you could do better and you want to do better, but divine timing, it's a process. You got to appreciate it, get the value of it. Just work with me. I'll get you there. Yeah, boss. That's all I want.
So he's gonna do that right now. He'll do that anytime we want. We just gotta want it bad enough, right?
As long as you're sincere and you are willing to do the work does not save you from pain. The work will test you. The work will send you through some shit, but at least you will understand why you were going through that shit. And if you really understand why you go through that shit, you'll appreciate it. And you'll be able to smile about it. And you'll be able to laugh about it. Because you know in whose hands you are. You know who you walk with. You know who you walk in. You know who walks in you. And you know that all of this shit don't mean shit. It's just a thing. And you're just doing what you're supposed to do as God sees fit. My shoe came off the other day. I'm walking around with my soul flopping. Now, I could have gotten pissed off and said, what the fuck? I had to laugh about it. Well, maybe I said, maybe somebody will think I'm homeless and give me some money. And I'm trying to shuffle because I don't want it flopping too much. So I don't know what I look like when I was walking, but I'm like, you know what? I know I'm gonna find some duct tape. And sure enough, as long as they saw what I was doing, next thing I know, a perfect wire, just long enough, not the breakable kind. It's like electric wire, with the cloth thing. I don't know how to explain it to you, but it was right there in my path, like they put it there, and I tied it on the bottom of my sole and tied it to my shoe, and I was good for the rest of the day. I don't get mad at shit no more. Fuck it. It's all just a thing.
It's a test.
It's just you are God, man. You are God being you. You are beautiful. God loves you. God made you. God wants you to understand what it is to be you. God wants you to understand that your experiences have meaning to the whole of the making of a perfect creation. That what you go through is not in vain. It all has a reason. It all has a purpose. And if you can just get through it with a loving heart and an understanding and an appreciation of what it is to be alive in God, then you wouldn't be pissed off. But these evil folks are running the world. I know. They ain't running the world. They just running the system. Stop letting them run you. It'll be fine. It'll work out. But you have to think of yourself as a free will ascending being of faith. They can't touch you inside. They can't touch you when you walk with God. The energy that you create is against them all by itself, and that reduces them because they don't have that control over you anymore, because you walk with one that controls them, and they know it. God does not choose groups or nations or people. He chooses everybody. The ones that are chosen are the ones that choose God back, and that is an individual thing. It ain't about black or white or rich or poor or heterosexual or homosexual. It ain't about Catholic or Christian or Mormon or Jew or Islam or Buddhism or any of that. It is about the core of your being. It is about your unique personality that God gave you. God is your personality. Being you. God is making a perfect life for himself in you. And when it's all over, you're going to appreciate the hell out of it. Because you went through some shit. And when it's over, you're going to sit back and you're going to relax. You're going to, you know what? This is so cool. I am so freaking happy ain't the word for it. I just look at what I am. Look at what I know. Look at what I be. Look at what I do. Hey, you made it. Now I know what you're saying, but Kibo, that could be billions and billions of years from now. Yep. And you're telling me that a little life of less than 100 years is fucking you up? I don't care how bad it is. You make it do this. It's like New York. This is the New York City of the universe, man. And you can make it here. You can make it anywhere. You can make it on Earth. You can make it anywhere. You came here because you said I could do it, and then you got here and you went, ah! Okay, that's all right. Y'all did that. I had no clue. It was tried to tell. Oh, God, no. Yeah, well, you're in it now.
You're in it now. That's right. You're in it. You jumped out of the plane, the parachute, you free fell. It looked nice from above, and then it got kind of murky as you got closer to the ground, and then you finally landed in a pile of dung. And you said this doesn't smell so good.
Thank God it was off. I know you landed in shit, but you're alive, so. You're alive. Now, here's the problem. Some people like it in shit. It's warm, it's soft. They haven't moved from the shit they landed in. You have. Okay? You people listening to, you AH members, you people that are striving to be aware, to get there, I know, I'm not satisfied with myself. Stop that shit. You're perfect. You're out of the shit, ain't you? You're out of that shit consciousness, aren't you? All right? You are working it. Okay? Quit putting yourself down. Quit telling, I can't, yeah, well, we all feel that way. You know what? Fuck that. We are beautiful. Look at us. Look at us in our glory and shine our magnificence. We walk with God, and God walks with us. Why? Because we like it. He likes it too.
I just thought of something. I get some people contacting me in the radio show, and one guy said to me, I just don't know what's real anymore. I don't know where to look. I don't know what to do. I read AH. You know, I talk about AH on the radio show, and people hear interviews, and they get put on there, and that's great. That's really wonderful. You know, you talk about feeling good about something in my life. That one gives me so much joy to think that for a moment, you know, I might have had a small part to play in someone regaining a firmer identity about who they are and all these things. But he said, I don't know what to believe anymore. I don't know if to believe you. I don't know what to believe them. I don't know, look anywhere.
Go within. The work is within. That's why the kingdom of God is within you. Don't take my word for it. I'm just a village idiot.
Man, what does that mean, though? Go within. You know, people look at you funny when you say that. You know, I say that, you know, but people just think I'm a crackpot. So, you know, go within. What do you mean by go within, Kibo? Because go within, there's a lot of organs, you know.
There are no organs involved. There are no organs involved in going within.
Who goes within? You go within because you're a Michael son, and you could do that because you worked at it. What about the newbies? How are they going within? They ain't got no guidance to go within.
You are not your brain. Your mind is the mind of God. Start using it. You are a consciousness experience. Explore your consciousness. It is within. Figure out everything you've done, everything you're doing, the whys and wherefores. Reach out as far as you can to understand. Hold your hand out to God. Let God know you are holding your hand out to him. I guarantee you will feel his hand holding yours. It is within you.
Like, just ask. Just ask.
Look. All you have to do is know who and what you are. If you can accept that, everything else will fall into place. But you cannot deviate from the knowledge of who and what you are, because that's where you get in trouble. They weren't kidding when they said, human, know thyself. We don't know ourselves. We think we're what we see in the mirror. We think that we are flesh and blood and muscle and brain. And no, we are consciousness. We are energy. We are energetic. We are micro and macro. We are chemical and we are electrical. We are mechanical. We are quantum. We are the consciousness of God in action. That is what you are. It doesn't matter if you're descending or ascending. All of that is the same. It's just a step on the ladder. But it's all the same. There's only one of us here, and it ain't you or me or the people listening to this. There's only one of us here. You want to know what's real? That's real. The one is real. The one is the only real thing there is. Everything else is here because of the one. What is reality? You know how many realities there are? Think of every decision you've ever made throughout your life since the time that you were born, and the decision that got you here. Okay. Think, how many decisions do you make a day? How many choices? If you have made any of those choices differently, you've created a new reality, and that branches off into somewhere else. There are an infinite number of infinities. There are an infinite number of realities. What is reality, Papa? Papa is the only reality. You want reality? Go within. Because this shit out here ain't reality. It's made up. It is made up of shared consciousness experiences based on the causes and effects that we have placed into action. And all of those are the results of causes and effects that got us here in the first place, all going back to the original cause, which affected everything. God is that cause. That's why it's a plan. That's why it's perfect. That's why it's going to be the way he wants it to be. There's no changing that. God wins. God wins because there is no other way. There is nothing else to be. There is nothing else to do. There is only God. All of this is for the sake of experience and demonstration, that we may learn what it is to be God. So that when that day comes, when we are perfect, even as our Father in the heavens is perfect, we will understand what it is to be perfect. You want to just be made perfect? You know what you would be doing right now if you were, because there are people who were made perfect in personalities on the Paradise Isle. You know what they're doing right now? They're listening to this broadcast.
They're listening to this broadcast?
Yes.
Why?
Because they want to explore too. They're looking at it from the outside in. We're experiencing it from the inside out. Who's having the better time?
Gee.
The people on the roller coaster or the people watching the roller coaster?
Well, roller coasters are cool.
See?
Okay. Yeah, but this roller coaster is unlike any other roller coaster you find in no theme park. This is crazy out here. This is
you don't know what crazy is. You're looking at you are looking at it from here. This is really right now. This is all you know. Now maybe after this life you can put all those experiences together. Yeah, Earth was crazy, but it wasn't as crazy as that other place we were at. Oh man, that was some shit. Yeah, I know. But if we hadn't have done that, we wouldn't have been able to go to Earth. That's true. We got through that shit, so we got to come here. Yeah, but see, look, we went through this shit. I mean, we got to Earth, so now what? I don't know, man. What do you want to do? Is there anything harder? Well, I'm sure something will come. Always something. Good thing. Gotta have something to do. You think it's all just floating around going, barbecue?
Yeah.
Who the hell are you going to barbecue in heaven? You think the cows got heaven too, and in cow heaven there are no barbecues.
No.
So what are we barbecuing? Yeah, please, really? Chicken and beer. The chicken don't want to be fried chicken.
No.
We're talking, really? Come on. You got to have something to do. It's always work to be done. The making of perfection, I mean, think about it. You have the Paradise Isle, which is perfect. You have the Habona worlds, which have been made perfect. You have the 7 super universes. And in each of those 7 super universes, you have how many universes? And each of those universes has to be settled in light and life, and they have to be made perfect. And once all of those are perfect, then the super universe itself is settled in light and life, and that is made perfect. How long would that take for all 7 super universes to be settled in light and life? And then God just kind of puts it all together, and that's just another level of perfection, and there we are. And then there are now evolving universes around us, in which we play the gods, and we do it our way. Hey, the thing about creating universes is you have a template. You have a template in the Paradise Isle. So you were creating as you have seen Papa create, and then we have an advantage because we have seen not only how Papa creates, but we've seen how Papa creates through the Creator Sons, the Michael Sons, and their creations. And so from the ideas that come to us in our lives here, it's another reason I like anime, because, the whole of the human imagination is right. Oh, the ideas, God, that you come up with. Well, how do I want? Yeah, well, can I make a universe in the shape of a cube? Can I make a universe in the shape of a rocking horse? How do I want my universe to be? How do I want? Because I know one day, and don't think this is just a Michael Son thing. Because you guys, all of us, I'm an ascending son here. I like this. I'll probably do it with you guys. So I'm thinking of this from, an ascending perspective. Well, okay, can I do one where there actually is magic, and at some point that's kind of like blended with technology, but it's do I do the Avatar thing? Because I That I know that's out there. There are people that can do this in this universe. There are people that can raid houses with just a wave of their hand. They can take mountains, move them over here, move them over there. You'd be surprised what people can do once they figure out how. But it's all consciousness. Okay. What you understand, it's like, what is it now? The 3-minute mile?
Yeah.
Okay, remember when they said that was impossible? Remember when somebody finally broke the 4-minute mile and then the next thing you knew everybody was doing it? Now it's a 3-minute mile.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan came and he was taking the ball going, 200 feet was hanging out and inside the year everybody was freaking doing it. We are an energetic quantum experience. No matter what you try to do, we share with each other whether we like it or not. Now, if we shared more actively that which was positive and light-filled, this is why I say, know yourself. Know that you are God in action and be the actor. Okay? And your energy will spread. Other people will get it and this thing will spread. And this will decrease the influence of the dark. Because you're putting yourself out there. You were putting your God energy out there. Don't visualize what's to come. Visualize it now. This is it. Don't visualize. Well, I mean, this is just me. I don't want to tell you, because I think it's a good thing. What is it? John Small in Spirit Eagle. He said, visualize the new world. That's cool. Me, I would say, visualize making the new world. Visualize a world full of people that look at the bankers and tell them, you know what, forget you. We don't need your funny monopoly money. We reject you. Think of a world where, visualize a world where right now, a minute ago, everybody said, you know what, screw this. We don't need Democrats or Republicans. We don't need military. We don't need any of this. Okay, we don't need central banking. We don't need any of this cabal, Illuminati, whatever. Okay, whoever you people are, we reject you. We walk with God. God's will be done on everybody. And the ones that are with it, and the ones that ain't, oh well. We will love ourselves, we will love our God, and we will love each other. Period. And we will act like it. We will be excellent to each other at all times. And that will grow, that will spread. We've had delay because people don't realize they need the help. And people, they don't realize the help that's available. They don't believe this and that. They don't believe in the Galactic Federation. They don't believe that God is right here. They don't believe in Christ Michael. They want to do it themselves, and they're still in it, and they think they got a better idea, and they think, well, it's like Fulford. I love reading Fulford. Let me get this straight. You want to give everything to the Chinese and let them run it, right? Like that's really going to be any better right now? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, people are trying, but they all want to do it their way. I want things God's. I want God's way. I want people to say, we want God's way. In fact, so many of us want God's way, we feel that God has no choice but to come down and say, okay, you asked for me, here I am.
And I'm one of those. I'm all for that one. Kibo, can we take a quick break? I don't want to take a quick break, but we got to do this for my recording here. We're going to take 5 minutes and we'll be back. You hang on?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, beautiful. We're going to take 5 minutes and then we'll be back. Everyone, thanks for listening. You stay tuned. We got more of Kibo right after this.